The categories for which you have the absentee ballots, the present day ballots, the provisional ballots, they didn't have a category for the military. And I thought that was so very important because then I asked who's counting the military votes. They said it was in the duplicates. Well, from what I understand is because they didn't get sent the right ballots. Because the ballots that can go in the scanner, no, they did it way before the count. They did it before the recount. No, because they didn't tell anybody that they did the military ballots separate from the absentee ballot, from the day of voting, from the provisional. We have no idea. All we do know that it's staff, who did the duplicate ballots. And that's a big question mark because I don't know if there were any monitors. So the military all around the world, I just found out yesterday that there was a Navy man who was just so happy. He was 19 years old, lived in Georgia, about putting his ballot in when he went to go check on the system. So I really want to hone in on that. To me, that's huge. Yes. That's huge. Like, where's that military ballot? And why don't we have a category? And I'm going to show you. You have election day, you have advanced voting, you have absentee by mail, and you have provisional. There is no space for military, or there's no space for duplicates. No, they didn't say anything. But if they put it in absentee by mail, the bottom line is the absentees came by email and they came by mail. But if some military ballots didn't get to them and they were considered as duplicates, you would have to have a separate column.
Right.
Because they're not actually absentee mail ballots because you tampered with them. You had to create a duplicate, so you would have to have another category for it being duplicate military. Take a look at this. 156 precincts reported in Gwinnett, right? Registered voters, 416,458 voters out of 581,467. The people who voted on that day was 414,192. But here's all the registered voters. Where is the margin between the 416 and the 414? If you were to just multiply 1,500 votes for Trump out of 159 counties, that would be the margin to give the 16 electoral votes to President Trump. So numbers do lie. If everything was copacetic, the numbers should match.
Right.
If you have a right system, the numbers should match. So without this military vote and the duplicate, we don't know how many military votes were duplicated.
Right.
It won't tell us we won't tell us in the absentee ballot, even though they counted it in the absentee ballot, how many were thrown out, how many were kept. How do we know that certain election professional actually bubbled in? And when I look at ballots cast, 827,000, and what they told me is 827,758. They said because it was the second page to the ballot, but it still should be only one ballot cast. So this was the second page with the amendments, but that looks rather crazy because we only have 416,000. So where did you get this number from? If the rest of the number, if the 827 minus 416,458, is that the second page? How do we know?